This is Friday, October 11th, 2024, and I'm at South Beach on Marco Island. This beach has been transformed by the powerful forces of Hurricane Milton, leaving a carpet of pen shells behind. Hurricane Milton also left a treasure trove of seashells for us to discover, and what I thought was going to be more of an exploratory walk just to see what the beach looked like did end up being a full-fledged shelling expedition. Now, some of you may be thinking, how can you think about shelling when people's lives were destroyed by that storm? And I'm really glad you asked. We are going to talk about that, but it's going to be a little bit later in the video. I will tell you, my poor, stressed out soul needed a little soothing because I had experienced a few days of the most horrible stress, waiting to see where the storm was going to hit, trying to determine if my house was going to flood, and then once that was all over...
This is an emergency. A tornado watch has been issued for your area. Press 1 to confirm receipt.
So yesterday was spent hoping we didn't get hit with a tornado while we were waiting to get our power back. So I decided this morning I would stay out of the way at my local beaches, let them clean up while I checked out what was going on at South Marco Beach. Now, the one thing that was weird is I did hear the ocean before I got to the beach. Normally it's kind of calm, so that was a little unusual. And I can see that the town kind of putting their benches and whatnot back in place. Holy pen shells. So it's not completely unusual that you would see some pen shells after a storm, but this is bananas. I've never seen anything like this. All right, so the paper figs. Yeah, that is another shell that I would expect. Paper figs, angel wings. There are a couple of shells that do tend to kind of get kicked up in these storms. All that greenery is going to be leaves and things that are kind of mixed in. It was kind of a nasty storm. So not surprising it kicked up a bunch of stuff. We will be pulling shells from shell piles. We'll be rescuing a few seashells without my assistance might have otherwise been washed out to sea. We are gonna see some cool things that we don't normally see. Beautiful shells we do normally see. And a bucket list shell for me. But I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. So right now, we've just gotten to the beach. I've got a couple of paper figs in my hand. Again, not unusual due to the circumstances. Actually, that's a really pretty paper fig. Hopefully that'll clean up. That is really, really nice. And I suspect we're going to find some other stuff. And if you want to see what else is out there for us today, let's go to the beach. Okay, so this is Friday after the storm. I don't have electricity. I'm happy to be not in my house with no air conditioning. So happy to be here amongst all these pen shells and piles of seashells on South Beach, Marco Island. Okay, garbage. Yep. Anything I can carry, I will get garbage off the beach. Another little paper fig. Beautiful. That's crazy with the storms that those delicate shells are the ones that actually end up kind of being around. Funny. So this is a pear whelk, even though it kind of has the same shape as a paper fig. Much hardier shell. It's going to have, sometimes it's going to have like those a little bit other brown colors and stripes. Whoa. All right, alphabet cone. So this is very desirable. That is a rather large alphabet cone. It's unfortunate. The aperture, the opening is a little broken. Lots of X's on that, but still super cool to find an alphabet cone. Always cool to find a cone. All right, a banded tulip, an orange banded tulip, lovely. But I mean, clearly all your common shells, I know. So those brown fighting conchs are my favorite. I'm trying really hard to not pick them up. That olive looks like a West Coast olive. That is weird. All right, this is an apple murex. And I know I had mentioned it, but I really didn't think I was gonna make like a whole shelling video. I kind of got here just to kind of see what was here. That is beautiful calico scallop. And there used to be a barnacle on it, so that's what that little white circle is. And that theoretically should come off with some bleach. Holy piles. Oh, hi, shark eye. Just sitting there. Normally I'd be pretty happy to unearth that or get it out of the sand anyway. Oh, that's terrific. Big old shark eye. Oh, a cone. Another one. Wow. All right. So at this point I was like, well, maybe I should plan on like making a legitimate video here. Oh, that's terrific. Yeah. Right, lots of lightning whelks. Holy cow. Yeah. Lots of nice ones too. Look at the size, the color. Wow. That's great. I mean, they're rather common anyway, but to find them that big and that good of condition, so I'm a little, can I be overwhelmed? Yeah, kind of. Sometimes you don't even know where to concentrate, where to even start looking. Another shark eye. Wow. And another. So yeah, I probably could have just set up camp right here, just plopped down and started digging. Another shark eye. All right, fighting conch. But I like to move about. So I want to kind of explore and see what this whole beach kind of looks like. So that is another banded tulip. And okay, another paper, no, it's not paper fig, that is a pear whelk. Oh, and a nutmeg. Oh my gosh, yeah, all right, yeah, it's probably gonna be a pretty fun shelling day. Well, we'll have to see. We know there's pen shells here. What else? Now this one, so fighting conchs are my favorite, and this one had like a little bit of a pink hue to it. Normally the pink shells are living, they have animals in them, so I'm very excited to find a shell that is a little pinkish. You might not have been able to see it, but it was very cool. There's a worm snail, a nice little Fargo worm snail. They're a little more uniform than the Florida worm snail. Oh my gosh. You can't even see sand. It's just shells. Wow. Wow. And then there's another alphabet cone just sitting there. Again, the aperture's a little beat up. It's okay. Wow. Oh, sand. Look at that. A little bit of sand. And a horse conch. Yay! I just wanted to make sure the whole shell came out. Yep. That's fine. Yeah, I'll soak that in bleach and that'll look lovely. Oh, that's terrific. A little horse conch. Yeah, I admit I'm not really even moving shells around. I'm just kind of looking, and at this point I got in the water, I put my hand down, I scooped my hand up, and I'm like, oh, look at that shark eye. Oh, that was terrific. So I just kept doing it for a little while. All right, what's my next grab gonna be? Okay, some fighting conchs. Looks like probably was an albino. Florida prickly cockle. Now I'm looking for a Geonia or an alphabet cone or another shark eye. Okay, a banded tulip. All right, so I did not have repeat success with that grab of the shark eye. It was pretty fun. Now I'll go back in the water. The tide is going out. I'm here first thing in the morning. I do recommend going either first thing or at low tide. That is a pear whelk. And I was not able to come later on at low tide, so I'm here first thing. And we are going to go all the way down that wall. I really want to check out the whole area here. Holy lightning whelk, another one. Look at the color on that one, though. More brown other than that orangey kind of color. Oh, it's so pretty. Wow. Yeah, overwhelming for sure. Look at that scallop. That's a rough scallop. Now those I find, I'll probably find like 100 calico scallops, and then I'll find one rough scallop. So a little harder to find. Not as plentiful. All right, garbage. Yep, I will absolutely take garbage off the beach, and I will absolutely save a horse conch. Yeah, we couldn't let that get washed out. All right, this is garbage. And a little horse conch. All right, yeah, this wall, I frankly don't remember ever really seen this wall, and it's the only opportunity I have at this point. Well, I guess I could walk down there, but it looks safer to go up here. So I'm going to take a look at previously shot footage. So I was here not that long ago. Wow, there's the wall. Look at all that sand. Wow, okay. So that's what it looks like probably at low tide. And yeah, so I'm coming from the other direction. I do see some sand, but yeah, there has been a lot of erosion here. Oh goodness. Wow. Just kind of blows the mind that all of those animals, I mean, those were all animals in those shells, were out in the ocean somewhere. Oh man. Yeah, and so that's the other kind of bummer part of storm shelling is that there's animals that are tired. Here's some garbage. We'll get that off. But the animals, they kind of they get beat up pretty bad with these storms too. So that's always kind of a bummer. Wow. Just yeah, kind of hard to wrap your mind around. And just wait, we're gonna kind of go around the corner. That's even crazier. All right, so I guess they're in between the pen shells. There'll be little patches of shells. There's a lace murex. Yeah, and you just walked on top of the pen shells. I mean, there was no other way to kind of get around. They were just everywhere. And so all these little green things, those are red mangrove propagules. And theoretically, that would float around in the ocean and maybe find a real shallow spot and get hung up and maybe create some roots and then grow a tree. So those are all possible little red mangroves. That's a pen shell. So we have, I would venture to say, thousands and thousands of those pen shells all over the beach here. Yeah, oh, and so for me, this is more the exploratory part. I wasn't necessarily looking to find shells here. You probably could. I know people did. They found Janonias and horse conchs and all sorts of stuff in here. Yeah, I'm more of a surface sheller. I'm not really good at digging, or I'm just too impatient for it. Nice shark eye. It's a false shark eye. It's kind of examining the under part of it. So yeah, that's how I'm shelling. I'm looking at like kind of around the pen shells, not underneath them. I'm not really moving. I'll probably leave that apple murex for somebody else. Okay, here's a calico clam. All right, there's a critter in there. So we're gonna get that over to the water. I don't know that it would survive. Like I said, the critters take a beating with these storms as well. So that's also really unfortunate. Another lightning whelk. Wow. Yep, beautiful. Another. I missed that worm snail too. So two more really pretty lightning whelks. So looking for those. Okay, garbage. Excellent. Looking for any of those interesting textures or colors. All right, here's a little true tulip. Little one. Big red one would have been nice, but we will settle for a little orange true tulip. Lovely. And there were other people that were absolutely digging with shovels. Somebody had an oar for a boat, just kind of moving shells around. So there's lots of different ways you can kind of go about shelling, frankly. I'm more of a walk and pick up lightning whelk, pick what I see, kind of a sheller. But there was opportunities for, everybody here. Another cone. Another alphabet cone. That is great. So yeah, I wish there was more sand here. Oh, just the erosion, it just makes that water hard. Well, probably at low tide it would have been better. So these pear whelks, stumbled upon the pear whelk section of the beach. Yep, there is another one. Oh, they're so pretty. Oh, and five pear whelks, and a partridge in a pear tree. Post-storm shelling normally comes with like mixed emotions. I am by no means an expert, but I can offer you my perspective. Hurricane Ian smashed into my area in September 2022. It was a massive hurricane and likely the reason we were all stressing in this area before Milton came along. Now, as you know, I love to go shelling, and some of the best times to go shelling is after a storm. And I do remember seeing an exhibit at the Sanibel Shell Show of horse conchs someone had collected after Hurricane Ian. Now, I was a little overcome with a strange mix of emotions, and when I really thought about it, I was jealous. I was jealous that someone was able to take advantage of Hurricane Ian, and I just wasn't able to. I just couldn't find it in me to go out and enjoy myself for quite a while after that storm, and the only person that affected was me. I wasn't helping anyone by staying home. Granted, I was cleaning out a flooded garage and finding replacement vehicles my family lost, but in my humble opinion, if you're not in the way of the cleanup, I don't see why people feel the need to shame other people into staying home. Maybe I'd feel differently if I didn't experience a massive hurricane directly, but I will always fully support anyone wanting to do something they love as long as they aren't harming anyone else. And to all those Debbie Downers, negative Nancys, and buzzkill Bills, well, you can just take your negative attitude and so I would be really curious to come back here at low tide. Currently, it's pretty high. I had mentioned that. So yeah, it's pretty high now. There's probably a little bit of beach there, nothing like it used to be. And that's probably something all the beaches on the West Coast are going to experience. Oh, that'd be terrible if you got washed out to sea, little horse conch. Oh, and you're so pretty with those like lighter lines and you're so orange. Oh, you're beautiful. All right, what else is here? Okay, a little pear whelk. Beautiful, rich color on that. A really nice little pear whelk just hanging out in the shell pile. What else is here? Okay, a sun ray Venus clam. Oh, I like this one because it's kind of pink and kind of yellow. And it's empty, I know, because it's light. What? Oh, look at the surprise. There's a little slipper shell in there. Okay, so we got a sunrise Venus clam with a surprise slipper shell. Oh, hi, little hermit crab. And it's got itself a little shell too. This is probably the smartest hermit crab I've ever seen. He has a shell and he's collecting a shell. So I believe this is a dimpled hermit crab. Oh, it's adorable. I'm glad to see you're at least alive, little friend. Yeah, everyone. Oh no, you dropped your shell. There you go. That's yours. And lovely choice, an Atlantic semele. Very nice. Oh, and an apple murex. Very nice. Oh, what was I rescuing? Oh, it's so pretty. And I almost got rid of the jingle, but I kept the jingle. That is a bay scallop. It looks like a giant calico scallop. Frankly, I can only tell the calico and the bays apart really by the color. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, and fighting conchs. I have a weakness for these. This one's kind of lemony. All right, I know it's not an adult because it doesn't have a very thick lip on it. Beautiful little fighting conch. So I'm not alone. I did decide to get here kind of first thing in the morning. There were people here with bags and buckets, and it was quite a shelling day. And there was plenty of shells to go around. Not as much beach though. Everyone kind of concentrated in the same little area. All right, I'm gonna spread out a little bit, see what else is down here. Oh, an alphabet cone. That'd be terrible to leave you there, wouldn't it? See an X on the bottom. Oh, an E, an F, an H. A little alphabet cone. Lovely. Oh, and a colorful moon snail. You know, I think those might be my second favorite shell. And then the alphabet cone. I love the colorful moon snails. Awesome. And nutmegs. I do like a good beaded common nutmeg. They are just beautiful. All right, my hands are wrinkly. I've been having actually a really great time, but I'm going to be quiet for a minute and allow you to enjoy some beach time. right, the sun has come out, or at least I've gotten out from behind the building. Oh, that's a calico scallop. That is so pretty. I like those with those little bursts of color on that. Gorgeous calico scallop. Oh, it got grabby. All right, it was probably near the water. That is, yep, horse conch. I like those. Well, they come in orange. I like the yellow ones. I like the small ones. I like the big ones. I don't know that there's one I don't really like, frankly. Oh, yes, and I had to see the officer. I had to go say chit-chat with him. He was there checking out the beach, collecting a couple seashells for his daughter, which I thought was quite swell. Oh, another cone. Wow. It was a great cone day. Look at all those E's. And then another Sunray Venus clam. Yeah, there was just a little bit of everything. It was really fun. It's kind of a good day to be down here for sure. Wow. So it's not my first one, but I don't find these often. This is an Atlantic wing oyster. Look at all that pearl, and isn't that beautiful? So yeah, I don't find those often at all. I want to say this is only like maybe the third or fourth one I've ever found. So very uncommon, at least in Southwest Florida. Perhaps a little more north they're more common, or maybe even on the East Coast. Beautiful. Oh, little horse conch. Yep. Do I like it? I sure do, because it's one of those little yellow ones. All right. What else are we going to rescue? We better get this alphabet cone. Oh my goodness. And cool. You can kind of see it's repaired itself. It broke at some point, repaired itself, kept on chugging. Oh, that is neat. All right, really start. What did I? Oh yeah, I had an iron grip on that shell. Not letting that shark eye go. And it's got a drill hole from yet another shark eye. Beautiful. Okay, I hope we're playing What's in the Swash, because it is my favorite game. Okay, I got grabby, and apparently, now the cones are going to be a little easier to see just because you have that contrast of the white and the orange brown kind of going on. The other shells are frankly going to be a little bit harder, and you gotta be quick. You gotta see it, have your brain recognize it, tell your arm to get out there. So there's a lot of stuff that kind of has to cooperate. So that it's just easier right now to find the alphabet cones. And they're also very desirable shells. So I'm having a great time just kind of standing here. And so I stopped moving around. I kind of picked a spot and just kind of hunkered in because it just kind of kept delivering. What is that? Oh my gosh. And to be fair, I was standing next to another gentleman who picked up, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 of lightning whelks like that, but they were like twice the size. He was kind of finding them in the surf too. It was pretty fun. There was a lot of people there really finding really interesting things. We have a creature. Hello, fighting conch. And you know what? After all of the animals I've met, I gotta believe that this critter is called fighting conch because they're so energetic. And that swash is kind of angry today, so I'm just gonna leave you kind of near the edge there. It's kind of tough here. Oh, not for me. I'm having the best time having these alphabet cones just kind of wash up at my feet. Oh, this is fun. So that is yet another alphabet cone. Oh, and a fighting conch. All right, so that's my other, my weakness, and this one with all the zigzags. Yeah, it's so pretty. So a juvenile Florida fighting conch. Awesome. All right, sandwiched between another, it was insane in a good way. Oh, the aperture is very nice. Wow. I cannot really think of an experience ever where I've just stood in a spot and alphabet cones were rolling at my feet. This was amazing. No way! Guess what that is? Oh, it's a albino Florida fighting conch. I mean, like a real albino one. Look at the aperture, and that is white. Oh, hello, beautiful. I have been waiting to meet you. Oh, that is wicked cool. So it's not albinistic. We're not looking at any of those other colors. This thing is albino. Oh, that is so cool. I do admit I'm a little bummed. It's got that little kind of like gouge in it. That's okay. I finally found kind of an intact Florida Fighting Conch that's albino. Oh, that is wicked cool. That is awesome. Now this is kind of neat too. So this is also a coloration difference. That's a colorful moon snail, but this one they call Vera's moon snail. And holy cow. All right, here is a lace murex. And for some reason, I was able to contain myself with the fighting conchs. Okay, that one's broken. So I didn't take home like bazillion of them. It was hard. I resisted. Here is a little lace murex. And if you don't know, if you're new to my videos, we will at the very end of the video see all of the seashells kind of in one shot. Oh, hi, true tulip. Yep, you are lovely. I know that it also has bands like the banded tulip, but they're just a little different. Another cone. Holy cow. Unbelievable. Kind of fun though, seeing all the different. So this one's just got kind of like dots. Sometimes they have like actual legit bigger letters. They're big, they're small, they're brown, they're orange. This is a lettered olive. Now that is more like an olive I am accustomed to seeing over here. Picked up one earlier that really did look like a West Coast olive. All right, there is a banded tulip. You see how those bands are very dark and deliberate, about a 1/4 inch apart or so? They'll always be like that with the banded tulips, and that's a calico scallop. All right, so there's kind of like the normal shells I would find. There's a colorful moon snail. Yeah, you're lovely. The aperture is a little, okay, we got an apple murex, horse conch, little top snail. All right, I've been busy. What else? We got big, we got small, unusual. Now this, would you look at the purple? I know normally we're going gaga over the animal, but this time, let's appreciate the shell. It is so purple. And I had heard about like the purple lip interior, but we're not talking like a blush of purple. Like this is like full-fledged violet. Look at that little bit of sun came out. Thank you very much. Yeah, that is gorgeous. Fella, you got a purty shell. All right, little friend. Yeah, we'll not put you right in the water. Good luck. Stay purple. So this really was more of a recon. I thought I would maybe include the footage from today in an upcoming video, but it just ended up being fun. It's not what I expected. I just really wanted to get out of the house. I didn't have air conditioning. It was hot. I was all stressed out. I just wanted to go to the beach for a little while. And I got to run into a couple of my beach friends. So, hey, beach friends, you know that this was that Friday we were down there. So this was really incredible. I'm going to say, I'm glad I came first thing and I didn't wait for low tide because I got to really kind of see the beach first thing on Friday. It was something else. And then one other thing I just want to mention, it is a real drag getting around when you don't have power on the traffic lights. So every single intersection is treated kind of like a stop sign. It is the pits. I remember going through this with Hurricane Ian. So I'm getting to relive a lot of really cool memories from other storms in the past. I personally actually do cleanup every single time I go to the beach. Today it was only a 2.65 ounce, but in total it all adds up a little over 56 pounds of garbage I have removed from our beaches. And today I also removed a couple other seashells, some of those colorful moon snails, along with the shark eye moon snails. So fun. Paper figs on top there. There were a lot of them. It was a storm, not surprising. So there is a Florida prickly cockle, a buttercup lucine, and a giant Atlantic cockle. Those are all the lightning whelks with that one real big one. The pear whelks, the banded tulips, a couple of top snails, crown conch, lettered olives, I think the slipper snail, jingle, horse conchs, which was really fun. I'm going to slide over a couple of sunray Venus clams. We have some lace murex, some apple murex, some calico scallops, a lot of those burst patterns on them, very nice. One bay scallop, some rough scallops, the alphabet cones. I couldn't get away from them. They were following me. It was awesome. The Florida fighting conchs, including that little pinkish one. There were some true tulips, the nutmegs, but that winged oyster and the albino fighting conch. Oh, yeah, it was a really memorable day. Patreons. I've been updating you behind the scenes, kind of giving you some sneak peeks. So if anybody else wants in on all that fun, do please head over to patreon.com. I'm getting a lot better at doing more updates over there. So next week, I do love a good teaser, but I hate a spoiler. So let's just say I find an abundance of something super fun, and it kind of inspired me to maybe help one of my shelf friends and raise money. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I hope you have yourself a great week, and I hope I'll see you again next Sunday.